Good morning. Top of the morning to you. It's we're still in the morning here in BC, so I can wish you top of the morning on this wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Oh, well, it's wonderful on the inside. I have to say on the outside, it is raining cats and dogs, but we're going to ignore that. Anyway, today I want to make a little recipe for you that I was given by a friend. It's called cabbage roll soup. Now, I don't know, well, of course, a very, very famous Irish sort of stew, kind of a meal is cabbage and corned beef and cabbage. So often when I think of cabbage, I think of the Irish. I often think of the Ukrainian people who use cabbage quite a bit. And where I was introduced to my first cabbage rolls, they were amazing. But today we're going to make this really, really easy cabbage roll soup. And I mean really, really easy. So I am just going to chop up an onion. I'd like to ask, what is an onion? It always confuses me. Like, what is a small onion? What is a large onion? It all depends on your perspective, doesn't it? Well, this recipe just called for an onion. So that's what I'm giving it. I'm giving it an onion. So it said finely chopped. So when it says finely chopped, I always use my little hand food processor. Manual food processor, because it does an incredible job of mincing things, well, as fine as you want them to be minced. So this is the manual food processor. It's a wonderful little thing. It has this little action here that you can lock down when you're storing it so that it doesn't take up very much space in your cupboard, which is a good thing because I don't know of anybody who has too much space. So this is a great little thing. And the other thing I like about it is that it chops things in this container. So it keeps your kitchen neater than it might be. I like to think that I keep a neat kitchen. We tell ourselves stories. My kitchen is a working kitchen. So sometimes it's neat and sometimes it's not. That's the truth of it, people. Anyway, up it comes. And we're going to mince this onion fine. Ooh, first we have to make sure that, let's see if we can get, okay. We need to get the blade situated. Here we go. Good job. Okay, here we go. It's really easy to do this. I find this a lot easier on my wrist and my hand, which is a good thing. And it really does a really good job of mincing things, just as finely as you'd like them. So if you can sort of see that, you can see that it's really giving it a run for its money in there. Let's take a look. Okay, it's not quite minced yet. Minced as finely as I'd like. So here we go. Anyway, I do really, really like this machine. You can do all sorts of things with it. You can mix your eggs with it. You can make salsa with it very easily. Of course, everything is kept right in the container. And then, especially for things like salsa, there's a cover that comes with it. So if you want to store it put it in your refrigerator, easy enough done. So I really, really like this little machine. Now, here we go. Well, that's pretty good. I'm just going to give this a little clean off. So that's pretty nice. Now I realize I've sat here and I haven't brought over my garlic. So just 1 minute off camera. Here I go. We keep our garlic more or less out of the fridge. And so that's way over here. And here we come again. Okay, so this calls for 1 diced onion, and it also calls for a pound of ground beef and 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Now I've got my wonderful, I'm going to take you right over here and show you my absolutely wonderful, if I can turn this. Oh, this is always an issue. Let's look at it this way. I hope you can see that. Let's see. There we go. Boy, I tell you, I could get better at this, people. Anyway, that is my enameled cast iron Dutch oven that I absolutely love, and I'm heating it on medium high, and we're going to give it, I'm going to stash you right there. Hi there. I'm going to give it about 2 teaspoons, not very much, of olive oil. And woof. Alrighty. Whoo. Okay, we're going to turn that down. And we're going to put 1 pound of lean ground beef in there. I love my lean ground beef. And we're going to allow that to cook until it loses its brownness. So here we go. You can hear that sizzle. I love this Dutch oven. It cooks very, very evenly. And once things are cooked, it keeps things hot for a good long time, even when you take it off the heat. So here we go. Wonderful. We're going to let that cook on medium until it loses all its brownness. And then let's just go back to where we were. Here we are. So that's browning nicely. So we've done our onions. Now we're going to do our garlic, and we need 2 teaspoons of garlic. But I have to say that in this house, garlic is a much loved ingredient. We tend to use more of it than the recipe calls for. This is the Pampered Chef garlic press. This was one of my first loves in Pampered Chef. If I had the money that I wasted on garlic presses that ended up in the dishwasher and ended up ruined, I'd be a much richer woman than I am, I have to tell you. Now, this will actually mince your garlic. You don't even have to peel it, although I generally like to, although this time I didn't. And it will mince your garlic and leave the peel inside. Now that was a huge garlic clove. So let's give it another push through. And let's see how it did. Okay. Well, let's just see. Let's just take that part out. Wow. Okay. And push this through. Generally speaking, of course, when I'm not, when I'm not doing a video, this works crazily well. But that was a really, really huge garlic, so it didn't work as well as I would like, although it didn't work badly either. So anyway, so I do love this because it gives you beautifully minced garlic. And you can throw the whole thing in the dishwasher after you're done, which is an amazing thing. It also comes with this cute little thing that kind of looks like a miniature brush. And we're going to have to put some more in there, but I'm going to stir my meat here. Oh, beautiful. It's great. It needed that 2 teaspoons of olive oil because it was a lean ground beef. And it's almost ready to receive all the stuff I'm going to put into it. So that's great. All right. So I'm going to crush another garlic clove and call it a day. Get me a good one, a good sized one. Okay. Great. I'm gonna make sure that the peel is off this one, although, like I say, it usually works, but these are really big garlic cloves. So it did mince them quite well, but it didn't come out of the front, it came out of the side. So let's try it. If it's a really big garlic clove, I guess I would suggest that you take the peeling off. So there you go. You can see that it's creating a really good mince. And I'm gonna say that's enough. Anyway, so then you can throw this whole thing in the dishwasher and you don't have to worry about it getting ruined. Like I say, if I had the money back that I've spent on garlic presses over the years, because inevitably, not because I did it, somehow, the garlic fairies or something, it ended up in the dishwasher, and then it was completely unusable because it would get this really horrible chalky gray film on it, and that was just not easy it was impossible actually to get off. So those would end up in the garbage, and then I'd buy another one. And then I was introduced to Pampered Chef, and I have to say, I haven't had to worry about that at all. So now I'm going to put this onion and this garlic. I'm going to just throw it all in there. And we're going to put it into our beef. And let that cook down for about 3 minutes. And then what happens after that is basically just a dump recipe. You just dump everything in and you let it come to, you let it simmer. So in goes the onion and the garlic. If you were here, or if we had smell-o-vision, you would really, you want this garlic especially to just caramelize but not burn. So 3 minutes at the very most is what I think. Wow, this already smells amazing. Now you're also going to put in some salt and pepper to taste. I like about 10 turns of the pepper. I have fresh ground like black pepper, and I like lots, and my husband Eric likes lots of pepper, so we put a lot of pepper in things. And I'm going to put a tolerable amount of pink Himalayan salt in that, because most of what we buy salt-free, so that we can control the amount of salt that's in our diet. So that's a good thing. So that's doing well. We're going to get rid of that blade. And the garlic press. And we are going to turn to our carrots. Now the recipe calls for 2 carrots. Again, no instructions as to how big those carrots should be. So I've got small carrots, so I'm going to put more in than I might normally, because we like carrots. And that's the great thing about cooking from more or less scratch. You get to cut things the way that you want to, and add things the way that you want to. If you want a little bit more of this and a little bit less of that, you can certainly do that. So it's said to quarter your carrots and then chop them. So I'm doing that. And I'm using the Pampered Chef colored knife set. This is their one of the bigger knives. So if you're not ready for our incredible German knives, German steel knives, these are an amazing compromise, let me tell you. They're less than half the price, I believe, and they are sharp, sharp, sharp. Don't let the cute colors fool you. These are sharp, sharp knives. Now, my knife skills leave a lot to be desired. That's one of my goals this year, is to hone my knife skills. But I mean, I wished I were like some of the people I see on the Food Network, but you know what? I'm really not. So let's just take a look over here. Great. Oh, this looks good. This looks excellent and smells absolutely divine. I'm going to move this right off the heat, just because I don't want it to cook any longer. It's pretty much ready to go, and I don't want it. I really don't want to burn that garlic. Caramelized garlic is absolutely delicious. If you've ever roasted garlic, it's amazing if it's properly roasted. If it's burnt, it's probably one of the worst things on the planet. So I try to make sure that my garlic doesn't burn. So that's why I've taken it off the heat, and we can always put it back on the heat. So we're going to do, it calls for 2, but these, like I say, are small, so I'm going to do 3. Because we like our carrots, and they're good for your eyesight. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's a kind of a nice thought, isn't it? So we're quartering them, and we're cutting them with the Pampered Chef big blue knife. And it does an amazing job. The year that I turned 50, I got a little distracted. And, goodness, there I was turning 50. Who knew? And I decided one day, I was so upset about it. It was about a week before my 50th birthday. I decided I was going to cook a wonderful meal. This is a one. Let's not talk about how long ago that was. That wouldn't be right. And I took out a cleaver and decided to cut a frozen chicken, which is a stupid thing to do. Don't do it. Anyway, the cleaver wasn't overly sharp, and I ended up with about, I think it was 19 stitches in my hand. I thought for sure that the cleaver came down on my pointer finger of my left hand. The hand that you wear your wedding band on. So that was not a great thing. Anyway, so excellent. Okay, so there we go. I think that's, let's do another one. What the heck? Better to have too much than too little, don't you think? Well, most of the time I think that anyway. So yeah. So the long and the short of it is I made my way to the hospital, and BC medical care at the time was amazing. And I was home within 45 minutes. But what I took away from that visit to the hospital was this. The doctor at the emergency room said, "Oh, do you cook often?" And I said, "Oh, I'm in the kitchen all the time." He says, "Have you never cut yourself before?" I said, "No, I never have." He says, "Wow, your kitchen skills must be amazing." I said, no, they're not all that amazing, or I wouldn't be here. But he said, "You know what the number one cause of serious cuts is in the home?" And I said, "Knives?" And he said, "Well, yes, knives, you're right." But he said, dull knives are very dangerous to use. And, I never had a set of what I would call completely sharp knives. And I took that to heart. And I was on the outlook to find some really good knives. And we bought several sets, and they were okay. But you know what? We're not quite ready for the German steel yet. But boy, oh boy, we got these, and they are amazing. Don't let the beautiful colors fool you. They each come with their own sheath. And the idea behind keeping these sharp is to wash them right away, dry them right away, put them in the sheath, and put them back in the drawer away from children. These are not for kids. These are sharp, sharp, sharp. So until you get your German knives from Pampered Chef, this is a really good stopgap. I would recommend them highly. We have them in all sizes and shapes. I bought the entire set. I use it all the time, and I would recommend this to you very, very highly. So we're going to put these over here I am going to run some hot water and soap on that right now. And, whoops, wash it right away. Always make sure that you're not touching the blade, the sharp part of the blade. And give it a good wash and a good rinse. And a really good dry. Stick it in the sheath and put it away. That is the best place for sharp knives, is either being used by someone who uses them with a great deal of respect for the knife, because it is sharp, 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 but also someone who knows that when they're finished with it, they need to wash it right away, dry it, and stick it in the drawer away from children. So there you have it. I think we've got everything. Yeah, I think we have everything. Okay, so now we're going to stick this beef back on the stove. We're going to put in the beautifully cut carrots. They look very professional, but I certainly am not a professional. I am pampered, but I am not a professional, and I am not perfect. We're going to put in 4 cups of chopped cabbage, because this is a cabbage roll soup. So in it goes. Excellent. Give that a stir. Whoops. Yum, yum. Now the next thing I'm going to add is around 4 cups of this wonderful, wonderful Campbell's. Wow, why is it that always gives me trouble? It's hard for me to get those things off. There we go. This is Campbell's soup, Campbell's broth, beef broth with wine, red wine. And so we need about 4 cups. I'm going to measure it off in here because we have, these ones also have measurements on the inside. And this is a liter, and a liter is, yeah, just over 4 cups, which I thought. So just the whole liter. I did it last night, actually, because this is the second time I've made this. It is amazing. So in goes that 4 liters of beef broth with, or not 4 liters, 4 cups, 1 liter of beef broth. And let's push, and oh man, that smells completely amazing. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And then the next thing is, let's put in the tomato sauce. Now, it calls for 3 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce. So I don't know, but they don't sell just plain ordinary 8 ounces of tomato sauce. You have to buy larger. So this is actually 23 ounces of tomato sauce, which is 8 ounces more or less times 3. We're missing one ounce, but you know, an ounce here and there is not going to kill anybody. I am using my wonderful Pampered Chef can opener. Love this thing. It takes the glue seal off the top of the can so that the top of the can and the top of the lid are completely safe. Not at all dangerous. And then there's little pinchers, and up it comes. Look at that. And so this is completely dull. This is completely dull. It goes right into your soup. Absolutely amazing. Oh, the smell in here. It smells like a real cook is cooking. And that's just, well, I'd like to think that's the truth. I used to absolutely love to cook. Then I got some pretty serious health issues, and I kind of lost that passion for a very, very long time. But when I was introduced to Pampered Chef, not quite 2 years ago, that reignited my passion, and I am so, so grateful. So that was 23, should be 24 ounces of tomato sauce. It's just a plain, well, Hunt's tomato sauce. There's not much to it. And then now I'm going to add a half a cup of long grain rice. Now this long grain rice is brown. Eric and I prefer brown rice. We just find it to be more toothsome. And so we're going to we also have white, which we sometimes use, but I have to say very rarely. We're going to use this beautiful brown rice, and that's going to go in there. And now we're going to bring this whole thing up to a simmer. And once it comes to a simmer, like a nice sort of not quite rolling boil, I am going to put the top on this Dutch oven and let it cook for 25 minutes. And lo and behold, we will have this beautiful soup for lunch. But before I put that top on, I'd like to show it to you because it's quite amazing. Look at this incredible top. Now, this is the top that comes with our Dutch oven. And you can see that it has like little dimples all over it. And you might say, well, what's that about? These are self-basting dimples. So instead of the condensation from the cook kind of settling on the top and kind of escaping out the sides, these little dimples encourage all that condensation to go back down into the recipe. So it's like a self-basting thing. You can use these cast iron, these enamel cast irons, you know, in the stove, on top of the stove. They can go in the freezer. They're very, very versatile. And one of the things I love about it is that anything that you cook in that gets the benefit of this top basting cover, if you put the cover on, of course. But I most often do. Actually, I think I always do when I'm using this. So it's an amazing, amazing product, and I'm so, so glad we got it. And so as soon as that comes to a boil, oh, sorry, last thing. Forgot this. This is 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now, Eric and I prefer to use sweetener. This is Swerve sweetener. It's brown sugar. You can cook with it, bake with it, whatever. It's a natural sugar, very, very not bad for you at all. Certainly better than many other sweeteners. And so this is going to go in there. It's going to give it this sort of sweetness that is just absolutely lovely. So here we go. Last ingredient. Woo! There we go. 3 tablespoons. And mix that all up. And I tell you, this is an amazing thing to serve for lunch. And I think I just may make some nice cheese biscuits to go with it. I love making cheese biscuits. I love making anything that is like scone-like. As a matter of fact, my friends call me Scone Queen because I love to make scones. So I probably will do that. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I look really forward to having this for lunch. And thank you to my dear friend Anne Lawrence, who sent this recipe along to me. I really appreciate it. We have the most wonderful recipes in Pampered Chef, but we are not the only people on the internet with recipes. This is not a Pampered Chef recipe, but it's so easy and so delicious when it's done. I just took one look at it and went, I have got to do this. So thank you, Anne. I really appreciate you sending it to me. I think it's going to become a family favorite. Thank you, people from the party, for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful time. Right now, we're involved in a mystery host party. Now, what a mystery host party is we have no idea who the host is. So what we do is we offer this party, And as soon as it comes to, as soon as it qualifies, which means as soon as $200 worth of product are sold in the party, we're going to take there's a whole list of rules of how you can get entries into the mystery host party. Take a look at them. One of them is buying some product, and depending on how much product you buy, it depends on how many tickets you get to go into the mystery host party. And at the end of the party, Tabby and I are going to draw out the name from our little hat of all the people who've participated, and that person gets to be the mystery host. And they will benefit from hopefully free product, deeply discounted products, and they didn't have to do anything. Of course, really when you're doing an online party, there are some things that you need to do as the host, but it is one of the ways to have a party that doesn't include inviting people into your home per se. You don't have to cook any food, you don't have to serve any coffee or tea, but so it's a pretty easy way to have a party. So if you're looking at our catalog and you see something that you absolutely would love to have, but you'd like, really honestly, you want to get it for 50% off, this month you could get it for 60% off. Think about having a Pampered Chef party. I would love to set you up with you and your friends to have a wonderful time. There's recipes, there's games, there's product demonstrations, and it's a really wonderful way to take a look at everything the Pampered Chef has to offer, and to kibitz with your friends. And so it's a wonderful thing to do. And in March, you get 60% off of anything in the catalog, including our new product, which is amazing. Now, last month, my husband, it was this month, Eric had a party, and he sold $200 worth of product, which was great, and we were able to get some new product. I am hoping that before the time of this party closing, that my box will come from Pampered Chef, and I can show you some of the exciting things that we got. I am totally stoked. I cannot wait. Anyway, back to your party. Let's see what happens. Please contribute, invite your friends, and take a look at that catalog and treat yourself. Remember, anything that's bought in Pampered Chef at this point of the year could be considered a Mother's Day gift for you if you're a mom. And if you're not a mom, technically a mom, you've mothered lots of people, I can tell. I'm not a mother myself, but I have lots of people in my life that I've supported and I've stood behind like a mom. So I insist on celebrating Mother's Day for me, because it's a wonderful day to be recognized for the contribution you've made to people's lives. So whether you're an actual mom or just a mom who, like myself, who stood beside lots of people as they've gone through life, give yourself a treat. Take a look at the Pampered Chef catalog and see what you might like to have in your kitchen. Anything you buy from Pampered Chef will make your time in the kitchen easier, more successful, and just a pleasure. I can honestly say that. Anyway, do have a lovely St. Patrick's Day, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.